Yo, what's good? What's good? It's the one and only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So, Tank Davis will not be having any prison time. However, he is sentenced to 90 days house arrest for 90 days and 200 hours of community service. Let's talk about it. Then, of course, I'm gonna give my opinion. Cause man, oh 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 man. You know, you guys, when you're young, you gotta really have you guys gotta watch the things that you do, man, because you never know the impact that you might have on others around you. And everything, trust me, everything that people do, like, you know, you do negative, it will come back and bite you in the butt. Now Tank is, to me, I feel like Tank is lucky that he didn't have a major sentence. But let's go ahead and talk about it, man. So, shout out to ESPN.com. It says, boxing star Gervonta Davis avoided jail time in criminal hit and run case in Baltimore. Be more in the house. I don't know why I did that, because I'm not from Baltimore. But anyways, it says, according to court records, Davis was sentenced to 90 days of house arrest at the home of his trainer, Calvin Ford, and was given 3 years of probation. He is also given 200 out. Wait a second. Why is he sentenced to 90 days of house arrest at his trainer's house? That's damn, maybe they feel like his house is just too damn big. Like, ain't that crazy? Anyways, he was also given 200 hours of community service. In February, Davis pleaded guilty to 4 counts of steaming from a hit and run crash in November 2020 that injured 4, including a pregnant woman. Police stated that Davis left the Baltimore club at 2 a.m., ran a red light, struck the passenger side of a 2004 Toyota Solara. Davis was accused of fleeing the scene. The prosecution said that Davis made eye contact with the woman but never came over to help. Now, and that to me is like crazy, because it's like, bro, come on, bro, you Tank Davis, like, unless if he was drunk and he ain't want to, you know, get no drunk driving charges, like, I mean, come on, bro, like, come on. But you know, we all done, you know, stupid stuff when we're young, so, you know, hopefully he learned from this. But anyways, it said the woman currently has an open civil case pending against Davis. According to court records, the woman's attorney could not be reached for a comment. According to the Baltimore Banner Circuit Judge Althea Handy admonished Davis regarding the incidents. 3 words: "I am sorry," Handy said in court, according to the report, and he was not man enough to do that. He's shown absolutely no remorse. Davis, who has the record of 29-0 with 27 knockouts, the former WBA champion at 130 pounds, is less than 2 weeks removed from a TKO victory over Ryan Garcia in a 136-pound catchweight. And for y'all that don't know, this was actually the reason why it was so the fight announcement was so prolonged, because they didn't know if he was going to have to appear in court. Like, they didn't know when he was going to have to appear in court. It was just that it prolonged a lot or whatnot. So this was the main reason why the fight was prolonged between Davis and Ryan Garcia. After they got the hearing from the court, you see the fight was announced like the next day. The Baltimore native, who currently resides in Florida, is also a defendant in a domestic violence case in Broward County per court records. Davis pleaded not guilty in the misdemeanor battery case. The trial is set for May 26th. So Tank Davis has no jail time. So let's talk about it. All right, but furthermore, hold on. It says stating that he's demonstrated a consistent pattern of disobeying the law. A judge Friday sentenced Baltimore's boxing champion Gervonta Tank Davis to 90 days of home detention, which is basically house arrest. That's what that is. Plus 3 years of probation, hit and run that injured 4 people, including the pregnant woman. I want you guys to hear what, because I just talked about this when I read the last article. So I want you guys to hear this. Before handing down the punishment on the 4 traffic offenses, Baltimore Circuit Judge Althea Handy excoriated Davis, 28, now Parkland, Florida. That's where he lives. He lives in Parkland, Florida, for his refusal to apologize to one of the women hurt in the crash. Jair Smith, the The injured woman tearfully recounted how he left the scene without helping her, like I didn't matter at all. Miss Smith, you do matter, and what you went through matters, said Handy, who noted how Davis did not apologize in court. 3 words, I am sorry. He could not be man enough to do that. Handy noted that Davis did not have a valid driver's license, yet he racked up a number of prior infractions, including a drunken driving in 2018. So again, earlier, that was my earlier, allegations as to wondering why did he drive off. Obviously he was drunk, and I feel like that's the case in this situation. Though Handy raised the specter of incarceration throughout the proceeding and told Davis that it would not be a punishment if he sent him to house arrest at his beautiful home in Florida, she suspended all prison time except for 90 days. So I told you in the other article I read, I was saying, like, why does he have to do 90 days at his trainer's house? But I was saying, like, why are they being petty and saying, like, nah, you stay in a big ass nice house, like, I'm not finna give you the vacation time of that. So it says, and it goes back to, she says, if she sentenced him to, it would not be a punishment if she sentenced him to house arrest at his beautiful home in Florida. She said she'd allow him to serve that sentence on home detention in Baltimore. That's where his longtime coach and trainer Calvin Ford, who had asked for leniency earlier in the hearing, jumped up and volunteered his house. Yes, Ford said, he's like my son. Besides spending time in home detention, Davis has to perform 200 hours of community service, complete a program at the R. Adams Cowley Shock Trauma Center at the University of Maryland, and take part in the Mothers Against Drunk Driving Victim Impact Panel, where he must pay a $100 fine, which is literally like nothing. The sentencing just came days after he scored a 7-round knockout over Ryan Garcia. So wow, that's crazy, man. It says November 5th, 2020, Davis was at the Medusa Restaurant and Lounge downtown Baltimore and left the 2020 Lamborghini Urus to head to Four Seasons Hotel. Baltimore police were escorting him too, but Davis eventually turned away from the police escort. Then he ran a red light about 1:50 a.m. in Martin Luther King Jr. Washington Boulevard and struck what we just talked about earlier. So, all right, man, let's talk about it. Now, obviously, like I said, Tank is young. He made mistakes or whatnot. We all do. But I really hope that he learns from this, bro, because when you have, when you're such a high level guy, man, or when you're, when you have so much notoriety around you and all that type of stuff, man, you got to think anything that you do, people will be looking to make money off of. And I'm not saying that, it's justified that pregnant lady that he hit, she definitely is owed some type of compensation for, him hitting, basically, running into her. She's definitely owed money. I definitely believe that. But Tank has to move smarter. It's just a stupid mistake that he made. He was young. He made the mistake. Now he has to pay for it, right? 90 days of house arrest. Obviously, I figured that's what they was doing. It's like, man, I'm not finna, like, 90 days at the house. You finna be on vacation, basically. Like so they had to make it somewhat worthy of being a punishment, which is why why the judge made him, do the 90 days at his trainer's house. Whatever, man. It's warranted. Whatever, man. I just hope that Tank Davis learned from this, because Tank does have a minor history of getting in trouble a lot. And my biggest fear is I don't want Tank coming out to be like an Adrian Broner, where we expected so much of Tank, and all this stuff comes up and catches back up with it, just the same way it happened with Adrian Broner. All those antics, the drinking. Adrian Broner drinks a lot, and I'm telling you, bro, that's the reason why he has a beer belly, because he drinks a lot. So, Tank used to balloon up in weight. I just didn't want Tank to following those footsteps, man. So hopefully Tank learns from this. Hopefully Calvin Ford seems like a very good father figure to Tank. So hopefully Calvin Ford, drops some sense into his head while he's, spending 90 days at his house. I pray that Tank, learns from this and comes back stronger, and we don't continue to see this negative news about Tank Davis, because I do feel like he is the future. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, but what do I know?